Nothing was structurally wrong with the house, but the way the termite issue was handled almost ended this VA deal. Hi, I'm Betty Gonzalez. I'm an Army veteran and I'm also a real estate agent right here in Florida. So if you're an active duty member or a veteran and you're trying to use your VA loan, this exact scenario will eventually show up in some shape or form. Now, the difference is whether you know how to handle it or whether panic makes the decision for you. Let me tell you about my clients. They were trying to buy this home in a high demand Miami area near Coral Gables, mature tree lined streets, and a lot of charm. And this house was close to my buyer's family. Inventory there was tight, even around the $500,000 options were limited. So we knew that going in that the house was a little bit overpriced for its condition, and my buyers were okay with that. They were approved for up to $500,000 using their VA loan. Now, here's what happened. They were willing to put in some work in that house, and what almost killed this deal wasn't even the price. It wasn't even the VA loan. It wasn't even the inspection. It was how people reacted once that inspection report came back. So when we wrote the offer, we offered full price, not because the house was worth it at that time, but because we understood the situations my clients were in. We knew the appraiser would likely come in lower, and we also knew that my buyers were willing and able to pay over appraised value if he came where we expected it to come. VA loans will allow that, so as long as it is structured correctly. And my buyers understood the risk. The listing agent, on the other hand, panicked a little early because she assumed that because this was a VA loan with no down payment, that my buyers wouldn't be able to cover the appraisal gap. Now, this is a very common misunderstanding with the VA buyers. And we clarified that with that by our seller's agent, and we kept it moving. The appraisal came in exactly where we expected it, so there was no surprises there. But my buyers were prepared to bring about $20,000 over the appraised value. They understood the decision that we were making because they really wanted that area, and they were comfortable with it. Up to this point, nothing in this deal was unusual. The real test started after the inspection. The inspector found termites. Now, to be clear, this was not a surprise to my clients because when we first showed the property, I pointed out markings on the door frames and told my buyers that there was a strong possibility of termite activity in the property. So emotionally, when the inspection came back, they were prepared. But here's where most VA deals can fall apart. Not because the termite existed, but because people assume what the VA will or won't allow. VA requires that the property be termite free at closing. That's it. It does not say that the seller must pay. It does not say that the deal is dead. But this is the moment where agent, especially seller's agent, panics. To make it more complicated, the seller was an 85-year-old widow. She did not have the funds to remediate this termite situation, and the proceeds from the sale were going towards her next stage of care. This is the moment where most people make an emotional decision instead of a strategic one. So I step back, I talk to my clients, and I explain to my buyers that if they truly wanted this house, the path forward was for them to pay for the termite remediation themselves. Yes, that means hiring a licensed termite company and making sure that the treatment met VA requirements and securing a 1-year retreatment guaranteed in case of termites returning. This wasn't about bending the rules, it was about understanding them. And once the property was properly treated and documented, the VA would lend on this home. The loan was never the obstacle. The buyers agreed. They understood the cost. They understood the risks because they wanted this house, and they understood why it made sense in this specific situation. We handled the remediation correctly. The documents were turned into the lender, and we moved forward. Here's the truth, guys. The VA loan didn't almost kill this deal, but misunderstanding the VA loan almost did. This deal closed within 30 days while my buyers were overseas on vacations. Not because it was easy, but because it was approached calm and strategically from the beginning. So if you're using a VA loan, understand this. Your benefit is not limiting, but confusion is. And most of that confusion is avoidable. So if you want to understand how to make your VA offer competitive before you even get to the inspection, that next video breaks that down step by step. That's where most VA buyers either set themselves up for a smooth deal or create problems that they don't see coming. Now, watch that one next, and I will see you inside that video. Bye.